I just seen posts about it and I haven't looked at it entirely, so let's look at it now. So we got, here it is on the website, Blackmagic PYXIS 6K. And I'm super stoked about this, and I'm gonna go ahead and jump to one of the most exciting things. I had heard, I haven't confirmed this yet, that it is only $3,000. And if that's the case, this is gonna be something that shakes up the camera market. It definitely is. One of the biggest features about this camera is that it is a full frame cinema camera, which seems to be the trend of what people want, is the full frame look. Now we can get into that in another video. I'd love to talk about that. But one of the biggest features about this camera, not only is it 6K, is it's full frame. So I'm not sure if they're building off the full frame sensor that the 6K Pro, is it the 6K Pro that is a full frame? I think it is. I haven't bought a Blackmagic camera since the original 4K, which I still use to this day, and actually I actually really like it. I'm just not a huge fan of the Micro Four Thirds system. I've actually got the chance to shoot with the original 6K, and I actually really liked the image off that, and I've always loved the image off Blackmagic overall. So something like this in an affordable price range, which we all know Blackmagic's always been affordable. Let's see what else this thing has to offer. Precise skin tones, rich organic colors, feature extremely versatile design. See, so I think before we even look at all the other features here to this camera, I think the #1 selling factor is its form factor, the ergonomics of this camera. This is something people have been asking for a long time from Blackmagic. It's kind of a cube box style, something that can compete with the Komodo. And this isn't exactly a cube, but it's boxy. It's more modular. This is what people want. Now, I don't know yet if that screen flips out. It doesn't really look like it flips out to the side at all, but EVF right there we see. But this kind of box style just makes more sense to hold a camera. The Pocket 4K, 6K, 6K Pro, and is that all of them? Is there just the 3? That I wish I had it here. The weird stretched DSLR form was just always weird to shoot with. It just never really felt right or comfortable. My biggest issue with the 4K and why I left that was, which I still own it, I just don't shoot on it much anymore, but it was the ergonomics. I was fine with the image out of it. I was okay with that in Micro Four Thirds, but once you rigged it up, it just didn't make sense. That camera just is a weird camera. It's a great beginner camera. The image is amazing straight out of that. And then when you just want to go super light on it, freehand, it just ate through the batteries. But let's keep looking into this new PYXIS. I like the name, PYXIS. Okay, so looking at it here, I wonder if it comes with the EVF or if that's sold separately. I like the top handle. So let's see, machined aerospace aluminum, which means it's lightweight, very strong. So this is something that Blackmagic, I think, is always, I don't want to say cut corners on, but this is something that they've been able to save money on or be able to keep their cameras affordable, which I kind of like in some ways, where their cameras are usually pretty cheap. The Blackmagic felt pretty cheap. It felt not super cheap, but when you hold some other cameras that are made out of a full metal body or something like that, it just doesn't really feel the same. So it being machined aerospace aluminum, I'm not sure what that feels like. I wonder if it's going to feel a little more durable or be a little more durable than some of the other cameras. Let's click this little video here. All right, so looks like we got 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch. You got mounts all around this thing. This thing looks pretty nice. Okay. I love all the buttons on the side too. It looks like there's a little photo button down there. I wonder if you could just like take a frame grab right away on that. I know the Blackmagic pocket cameras had that as well. I never really used it much, but I love the idea of it. I see a little lock button there. I wonder if that just locks the buttons down. Yeah, I'm sure that's probably what that is. Just locks the button down there. Let's see, accessibility, building perfect camera, rugged and reliable. Yeah, they all get the Hollywood look. Yeah, they all say that, I feel like. But Blackmagic does have a certain look I really like, though. So I do want to say my perspective of this camera right now. I shoot on an FX6. I do use my Blackmagic and have an A7 IV II here and there. But I was actually about to pull the trigger on a red Komodo or Komodo X. I'm leaning more toward the Komodo X, but I can talk through that in another video. But this camera kind of makes me rethink that, because I've always been a huge fan of Blackmagic's look, but the ergonomics always threw me off. All you need, let's see here. So it being 6K, Large format cinema digital sensor. Blackmagic features a massive full-frame sensor with a native resolution of 6048 by 4032. Almost 3 times larger than Super 35 sensor. Allows you to shoot with shallow depth of field and use anamorphic lenses uncropped for a true cinematic look. 13 stops of dynamic range. I'm curious to see what some tests are when they come out and people start actually getting their hands on this. ISO up to 25,600. Stunning low light noise. That's something I remember seeing when the old 4K was the low light was decent for what it was, a micro four thirds sensor. So like I said, I haven't really touched a Blackmagic camera since the 4K, other than I got to shoot once on a 6K, and then I actually was on a shoot with a buddy of mine who had the Ursa 4, I think it was the Ursa G2 on that. And I liked the camera. I really liked the image off of it. The full frame though, that's huge. Okay, so we got PL mount, locking EF, and L mount models. Interesting. Man, I like the way this thing looks just standing there like that. I like the way the L mount actually looks better, but the PL mount's probably the way I would go. Locking EF, 3 great models. Cool. Okay, clipped highlights. Shoot high dynamic range images. 13 stops, dynamic range. Okay. What we got here? Dual gain ISO, exceptional low light performance. Yeah. Well, honestly, almost all camera nowadays are pretty good on low light. I mean, depending on what you're shooting, but I mean, for the most part, most cameras do a good job in low light. And if you're not doing quick turnaround stuff, there's a lot of things like Neat Video or Topaz Labs I've actually been liking a lot. Can really clean up a grainy image. But dual gain ISO for exceptional low light performance. So we're going with the dual gain system again, which doesn't surprise me. So dual native starts at 400 and the second one's at 3200. And I love the way that Blackmagic does these charts. And I've seen people test these charts and they seem to be pretty accurate just from what Blackmagic gives on their dynamic range, on the stops you lose and your trade-offs there on each end of the chart. 50 FPS and 6K. Okay. So is that in full frame though? That's what I'm curious. Is that full frame? Multiple resolutions? Can shoot up to 24.6 megapixels. Blackmagic shoots up 36 FPS at 6048 by 4032. OpenGate is another huge deal here. And if you never shot OpenGate, so people talk about OpenGate is useful for pulling verticals out and being able to create multiple pieces of content, whether you're going vertical, horizontal for Instagram, like stories, and full. I mean, it's got its uses in that way. But shooting OpenGate allows so much more than that, and just creating a horizontal project, which, let's be real, we all want to shoot horizontal. I don't think you'd be looking at this camera to shoot vertically, and if you are, I'm going to call you crazy. I don't know why. I just feel like I don't know what vertical content you would need. I take that back. There's a lot of things out there I'm sure people are doing. If you're shooting vertical content cameras like this, comment below. I'd love to hear what you're shooting and maybe link some of your stuff or show us some of your stuff. I'd love to see some vertical cinema content. Okay, so anyways, OpenGate though allows you to do so much more, having that much room in post to move and reframe and being able to pick your aspect ratio after the fact, which probably isn't a good idea. If you should kind of know you should know what you're shooting before you shoot it. But if you need to change it or deliver in multiple formats, shooting OpenGate to begin with it's kind of like shooting RAW and then being a little flexible in post. You can flex it in post, and just having that much room is amazing to have, to be able to punch in, punch out, move things, shift things. If you're using any kind of, stabilizer software, anything like that, it's amazing to have. And that's something I really wish I had. Okay, so this thing will shoot full frame OpenGate, up to 36 FPS and 6K. It's pretty cool. And then the 241 crop, it'll do 60. Wait, at 60 FPS at 6048 by 2520, 241. Okay. And then 60 FPS at 4K DCI, which is 4096 by 2160. And for high frame rates, you can window the sensor up to 100 FPS. Does that mean windowed up to 2106 or 2112 by 1184, Super 16? You can even work in true anamorphic 6.5 at much higher resolutions than other cameras using anamorphic lenses, and 4.8K 24 FPS at Oh, wow. That's awesome. Okay, shoot 120 FPS and 1080p. I'm curious to see how the 1080 looks. I've actually been shooting a lot more super slow-mo if I need it for certain clients. Actually, I just shot I was shooting some content for hearing protection for firearms, and I was able to film some of the guns and actually ran it through Topaz, shooting 1080p, up-resing and slowing down. It does a really good job. So because Topaz Labs, not sponsored, is actually allowed me to shoot in 1080p in some of these slower frame rates on my FX6. So I'm curious to see what the quality is on the 1080 already straight out of the camera on that. Go to shoot, solution. I like these examples they're showing here to give you an example of what these crops look like. It's awesome. All right, classic, the Blackmagic UI. If you have not used it, it makes everything just feel so clunky. Blackmagic does such a good job at making the UI feel friendly and it's not overwhelming. It makes sense. It's easy to find things. It just, if you used it, you know. Okay, large 4-inch, so it's a 4-inch LCD screen on the side, all the controls at the fingertips. Scroll wheel, so it's touch screen. Is the 4K and 6K, are those 4-inch screens? I wonder if it's just the same screen they just slapped on the side there. Now, that being on the side, I can see a lot of people right now already are probably going to complain about having that on the side. I actually don't mind that. Doing interviews and having the camera set up, usually I don't know, I've been back and forth because the Komodo has that screen on top. I know it's not really meant for the top screen. And looking down on it, I don't know if it makes more sense to have the screen on the side than it would be on the top. I know I don't know if it would make more sense to have the screen on the side than it would on the top, like the Komodo, but I actually think I would like it better on the side. Most likely you're going to have your own monitor or EVF on this. And, oh, look at the batteries. Are those what are they called? The LPE6? Is that what they're called? LPE6? Is that the FX6 batteries? So is that that looks like a BPU battery. It looks like a Sony BPU. I wonder if that's what they're going to run it off of, like the FX6. Interesting, if that's what they're doing. Okay. CFast. You got CFast Express cards here. I see. That's awesome. CFast Express 1, 2. Are they Type A or Type B? That I'm curious about. Okay. Features important functions such as ISO, white balance, your fingertips, touchscreen. Yep. Okay, what's this here? Okay. Side plates for flexible mounting options. That's pretty cool. I really like that. So it's like native parts to be able to add your side handles and the straps. That's pretty cool. I really like that. And post-production friendly formats. So you got raw preserve. Let's see, we got H.264. So it records Blackmagic RAW, color for detail, exposure color during post. It also records in HD, H.264 proxies in real time to make easy to share media around the world in minutes. So that's pretty cool. You can do that. I personally haven't had a lot of work where I've needed that, but I know there's people that do need that, and that's pretty cool to be able to have those proxies right away, right on set. You can I wonder if it records to, I assume it probably records to a separate card, so you can hand that card off right away to somebody before you leave set. Okay, Blackmagic RAW, highly optimized, multi-threaded, it works across CPU, yeah. Blackmagic RAW is amazing. I haven't used it in a while. I've had a couple people that I've worked with that shot on Blackmagic RAW, and being able to use it again, it actually made me kind of miss it. Oh, okay. So it shoots CFast Express cards and USB-C expansion report recording directly to external. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's something that's if you never had a camera, you can do that. It is because there's pros and cons to that. Shooting externally on an SSD is awesome because you can go straight into editing or just plug it straight into your computer. It's just nice to have. It's already on a hard drive when you leave set. It's, if you get like something like one of those I think right here, they got the T7s, right? That's what I got here. I really actually like these here, these Samsung. They're padded, they're rugged, they're water resistant, like having your footage on something that's safe and be able to throw it in your bag. I wouldn't throw it, but be able to put it up like that right away from filming. That's always, it just feels satisfying. The con to this, and I've not really had this happen, is when you're recording to something external, there's more points of failure. So you have USB-C cables that can come unplugged, get tugged, things like that. I've never had to happen to me when I was shooting on my 4K. That Smallwork had some nice cages for that, but to be able to keep them, and I'm sure there's going to be. This looks pretty safe here, but you just never know. If there was a way to have like a locking USB-C, I think that'd be pretty cool. But still, that's an awesome option because usually it's way more affordable to go the SSD route. That's awesome. Okay, Blackmagic Raw. We already know. We know about this, right? Oh, cool. You can download the clips here. I may do that. Blackmagic Raw. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, if you don't know about Blackmagic Raw, you should look into it. Try it. Gen 5 color science. I would have assumed it would have the most up-to-date color science, which I actually really enjoy the color straight out of Blackmagic. Blackmagic, I think, has its own look, and I think a lot of not if you're pixel peeping, I think I can't really tell the difference between, Canon, Sony, even sometimes the newer Nikon cameras. I can't tell. I guess Red's an Nikon, but Blackmagic has a look. It does, and you either love it or hate it. I don't want to say sharp. I've always noticed it seems way more detailed. It has a nice look that I like, especially if we're pulling frames. It seems way more detailed if you want to pull frames for BTS, social media, or just pull frames for print material if you need. I wouldn't really recommend them for that, but you can. I mean, I guess you can do that with any camera, but yeah, it does have a look, and I think Red has a certain look too. And looking at Red, it's more of this organic texture to the cameras. That's the best way. I don't know how to explain it. There's a texture to the footage on these different sensors that I think are unlike most cameras on the market. I think Blackmagic has it does have a specific look. And because of that was a big reason I did leave Blackmagic. It was hard to match. It was hard to match my 4K and then even shoot with the 6K to any of my Sonys, which I just don't know which one I preferred. Record straight. Okay, wait. It's 3 post-production. So record internally and then you select upload. So does it have... I guess I'm skipping here. I'm scrolling way too fast. Live sync to Blackmagic Cloud and editors. Okay, this is awesome. I've never used this. I've looked into it a little bit. I guess it's kind of like the Frame.io setup, but it's all built into Blackmagic's system here. Small proxy files can upload to Blackmagic Cloud in seconds. Your media gets available back at the studio in real time. That's awesome. I love the idea of that. That's so cool. Okay, so what's the phone for there? Connected phone for mobile data. Okay, for mobile data. So you connect to your phone. I wonder if it's only iPhone. Connect your phone up to it to connect to 5G, high-speed 5G phones as well as 4G. You can also connect so that you can use... That's awesome. Okay, I love that idea. I love the idea that you don't have to purchase any kind of other module to be able to connect to the internet or Wi-Fi or pay for another service. You could just use your phone. I would love to see how that works in real time. The Ursa Cine viewfinder. I love that. I've never used it, but I love viewfinders. Viewfinder accessories. Yeah, I can't wait to see what other accessories come out for this thing. So USB-C, analog audio, CVS Express, 12 volt, Ethernet. That's pretty cool. So is it? That's a Sony BPU, right? Am I right? Or is it something else? I've been using V-Locks for almost everything nowadays, so I forget the names of what the batteries are. All right, this is pretty insane. And you got the 3.5 quarter inch, 3.5 millimeter. 3.5 millimeter audio jack. That's and a headphone straight in the body. That is my biggest complaint with the FX6 is not that I always need the onboard audio, and I don't shoot a lot of I don't own a lot of 3.5 millimeter mics, but sometimes just having some decent backup audio or backup scratch audio, something like that. Or I've shot some BTS for my friends before, and that's where I would like to be able to plug in a simple mic. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. Or shooting content like this, being able to just plug a mic in, or even using something like the DJI Lavs or the Rode Lavs, the receiver going into the FX6, there's not even a 3.5 option on that. So you have to get, I had this Rode, I can't remember what it's called, the Rode XLR to 3.5 adapter that goes into the top handle in the FX6, which makes it bigger, which if I'm using Lavs, usually I'm going like really run and gun, like very minimal. Yeah, I'm definitely going to download this footage and play with it. That's really cool. Load. These download clips can be, if you don't know what you're doing with the footage, they can be kind of deceiving because they're lit really well. I mean, clearly this was done by a small group of professionals or a big group of professionals, or maybe just one large professional. but it's just, it looks, of course it's going to look good right away like that. So shot on anything, I'm pretty sure you can put your phone up to this if you were on set here and it would look good. But really knowing what you're looking for when you're pushing the image and playing with it and seeing where it breaks and just knowing what it is you are looking for. If you are coloring your own footage, if you are a colorist or anybody looking to get this camera and you know you're going to be the one adding the color, it's probably good to know and see how it handles. And good to see how it handles on your machine, which Blackmagic has been pretty forgiving, especially on not the M1, M2, M3 silicon chips. If you have any of those, I think you're pretty well set. Let's see the data rates here. So at a 3:1 compression, Blackmagic RAW at OpenGate 6K, 3:2 at 24 frames is 56 minutes for, does that say, per terabyte? So 1 terabyte gets you 56 minutes, so just under an hour at OpenGate. And then if you go 5:1, 94 minutes, that's okay. 12:1, which I've usually stuck around 5:1 for the most part. When I was shooting weddings on Blackmagic, I was shooting 12:1 because it was insane. It was so much footage, and the 12:1 compression, it was good enough. I mean, it looked great. I couldn't tell a huge difference where it was really like, there was not a time where I really wish I shot a higher compression just doing run and gun stuff like that. But I can tell a difference in the way the footage holds up from 12:1 to 5:1 Blackmagic RAW. And I'm only talking from the 4K. I don't know if there's any other little sciences going on in the different cameras on the compressions, but yeah. Oh man, this is tempting. Man, look at, I love that. I love the broke down box style just like that. I really like that. I actually went on a shoot recently, broke my FX6 like all the way down with just the LCD screen on it. And I had it looking just like this. And I just kind of was holding the back of it like this. And just holding the bottom. It looked goofy. Didn't even have a handle on it. Probably unsafe, not smart. Didn't look very professional. Probably going to drop it. I didn't, thankfully. Look at that side handle on the side. These photos look weird. Let me look real. Why do they look like that? I don't know. They look photoshopped. That's cool. I love the look of it. And I know the looks may not matter to some people, but ergonomics do. But when they both align, that's always great. When you just feel inspired when you grab it, you feel motivated to work when you hold the camera. That's always nice. Still, okay, that's pretty cool, especially in the line of work I do. I do a lot of marketing materials and marketing campaigns where we're filming things or shooting, say we're shooting a YouTube video for a client or something. We're managing some YouTube channel. Being able to snap a photo of something we lit right there, like just be able to grab that frame. That's awesome for a thumbnail and then just roll into the video. Love that. Oh my gosh. So like I would love to dive back into the Blackmagic ecosystem because this looks awesome. It's so affordable. The thing is though, with full frame, you're leaning into full frame lenses, which could be more expensive. PL is usually more expensive for good reason, but there's going to be a price hike there. The camera might be cheap. Someone said it was like $3,000. Yeah, what kind of battery? The BPU batteries. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I already got those. Maybe I should buy it. All right. So, includes, of course, this is killer. There it is. $2,995. $3,000. Can buy now? Oh man, I don't know if I don't need that. The thing is I'm talking personally where I'm at. If I were to buy this, I don't have the L-mount lenses. I have EF, but I don't think I have any full frame EF lenses. I don't. The PL 3100, that's probably the way I'd go. I don't own any PL right now. I'm so invested in E-mount, and that's kind of where I'm kind of screwed. I don't want to say screwed, but we do a lot of photography too, so it makes sense for our Sony photo cameras, but I own E-mount SLR Magic Cine lenses, so like those would be useless. That is so... I kind of want to try it. Are they shipping like now? Let's see, this is the... I wonder if it makes sense to go EF or PL. I don't know what I would do. PL would probably make more sense. I don't know if they're actually like on the market or they just announced it. One of these days, I got to figure out get a decent live stream set up because this would be fun to actually talk to you guys or have someone else in on here talking with me on this stuff. I don't see, I would think this would be like front page thing here. So let's try. What's it called? The PYXIS? I like the name, but that sounds cool. Oh, I don't see it anywhere to sell, or I don't think it's actually for sale right now, but it says buy now. I don't know. Maybe it is. If it is, let me know in the comments below because I'm curious. I might buy it. No, I don't know. I'm actually looking. I'm in the market for the Komodo 6K. And does this actually stand in the way of that? First of all, the price is undeniable. You can't ignore that price at $3,000 and what you're getting out of this. And the thing is, if Blackmagic was a nobody and showed up with this camera, this would be so controversial. People are like, what is this? Who is this Blackmagic? What is this camera? It's probably good. It's not good. It's not good. It's going to be crap. Like, no way it's going to be that good. But we know Blackmagic. We've seen Blackmagic, and Blackmagic does this. And they've proven their image quality, their UI. I mean, I don't even have to say anything about the software. Blackmagic creates great products, hands down. There's really no argument about that. Yeah, there's things to complain about those products, but when it comes to the image quality and what they do for production, usually is a great thing. Ergonomics, though, is where I think they've usually failed. I've always liked the Ursa body style. I think was really cool. I liked that. But the Pocket 4Ks, I don't know why they didn't like go with like the Z-Cam style, something like that. The Komodos. I mean, I think those body styles are useful. This actually is, I don't know. It's full frame, and that I don't know the actual size to this. That's something I want to look at. I'm curious to see what is the actual size, the dimensions of this box, because that matters, you know. And what's the weight of it? Will this fly on a gimbal pretty easy? And not that it's super important. I didn't see anything about autofocus in there, so I know this camera's probably not geared toward those people. But does it have? Even the red Komodo X has continuous autofocus. I don't know if this does. It might have the touch focus for electronically attached lenses, but even if it's just crappy continuous, I don't know. Maybe if it's just like continuous in a box, kind of how the Komodos do it, and it's just trustworthy in the sense of sitting down doing a talking head. Maybe I think that'd be useful, but that's something to. I don't know. It's very tempting. That's such a great price for what it is, what it has to offer. I mean, what I'm actually looking for is I'm like I said, I shoot on the FX6. I've shot ProRes RAW on it. I don't really like ProRes RAW. I mean, I prefer it over shooting the internal codecs, but it is massive. There's not a lot of options when it comes to compression of ProRes RAW, but even shooting ProRes RAW, and you screw the white balance up. And I know there's gonna be people probably in the comments saying, well, don't dial in your settings right away. Don't screw up that much. You're like, what are you doing to be so far off? I screw up. Okay. Sometimes I screw up, and it's just, I'm not paying attention to either my white balance because maybe I'm doing more than one job on sets. And let's be real. I think a lot of us are there. Especially nowadays, I think a lot of the markets, at least where I'm at, budgets are getting tight right now. And we're trying to do a lot of things at once. So trying to run audio, setting the lights, set design, whether usually I'm not doing all of these things at once, but sometimes I'm doing 2 or 3 things at once. I'm setting one camera up, setting 2 cameras up, trying to talk to the client or really making sure we're on schedule. And sometimes you forget to check those settings, or maybe you just check one, you change it, and you forget to change it back. I mean, there's so many things that can go wrong with that. So having RAW helps significantly in that way. And Blackmagic RAW it's pretty good, but it's not the same as Red RAW. And I've only edited Red RAW once, and it was nothing like anything I've ever messed with before. So it's truly undestructive. And for that is what I'm interested in, is having something that is truly raw, undestructive, straight off the sensor. But Blackmagic, I think I would say, I haven't done a lot of experimenting back and forth, but I would say Blackmagic RAW is more undestructive when it comes to dramatic white balance movements or anything like that over ProRes RAW. I don't know. I would love to hear what your guys' experiences, or if there's an actual truth and fact to that. I'm sure it all depends on the type of image you're using, or where it is it's breaking or anything like that, where it's actually falling apart. Blackmagic RAW is usually great, and you have all those options in the integrated. There's a lot going on here for this. So you could buy 3 of these if you're, instead of getting a Komodo X. Yeah, I don't know. This is exciting. And someone just told me they released a new 12K. So I haven't looked at that yet. So this one was one that excited me, the 12K. I've heard mixed reviews on those before. I haven't really looked too much into them. I'm curious about them, but this looks awesome. Full frame. So yeah, if you guys are excited about this, or if you're going to buy one, comment below. Let me know if you're getting one. Let me know if there was a feature on there specifically you were actually interested in that made you just go, I got to have that. It was the full frame, this Blackmagic, or if it's the ergonomics, because the ergonomics is what got me way more excited. Is this camera looks so fun to use, easy to use. Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to start seeing these out there, and I'd love to get my hands on one. But yeah, let me know if you guys are buying one. Let me know if I should buy one. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for listening to me just talk and rant and look at this camera. See you.